Do you know those moments in your business where you come back to your business, maybe you've been away for a little bit and life has shifts and it suddenly feels like your business doesn't fit you anymore, or maybe you've kind of like read a book or you've had a big change and it just kind of feels off. Well, that is exactly what I believe happened to Rachel when she left last year around the same time on maternity leave. And today we're going to be talking about how becoming a mother has radically shifted her relationship with her business.
Yeah, I ramped down my business and kind of just came back into like just my core clients for about a year. It was a very, very intentional decision to just kind of allow me to get into my bearings and all of that. And when I came back to just kind of like pop my head up and say, maybe I start posting, maybe I start doing this, my business felt like a complete stranger to me. My messaging, my branding, like my services. I feel like I was kind of teasing and dropping hints about this in earlier episodes, talking about like, I don't know if I want to like have retainer clients anymore. I don't know how I want to come back on social and all of this stuff. So it was a hard moment of just reflection, and essentially I had to just burn it all down. So I've just recently have brought it back to life into a place that has felt more aligned and has felt just so much more like where I'm at in my life. So it's coming back to life here.
Yeah. So, I mean, Rachel started posting on Instagram last week. If you don't follow her, go follow her at Gal Agency. And her marketing is completely different, not just like colors, but like it just feels you have such a different energy that you're approaching
Yeah.
business and how you're marketing yourself that I was like, whoa, I want to talk to you about this. I know you went in a little bit about like when you realized it didn't fit, but are there any like other signs or like any other, like, obviously you wanted to post. Did you try to post and just couldn't? What made you feel and like how you finally came to decide to like shift into something new?
Yeah. So, I mean, I will give a little bit more depth to the journey in the sense of in my personal life, like I was deep in the weeds of postpartum where everything felt like a problem that the internet was trying to solve. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, is this a problem or is this just like how it's supposed to be? Or is this just how things are kind of thing? And I was just getting hit with a lot of marketing messages. It was just constant, just overconsumption. Buy this, buy that. Like, here's a problem that maybe you weren't aware of. And now you should think about it 24 hours of your day, kind of thing. And I was just really just completely given the ick by all marketing, all online business, and just overall, just this. I think as a marketer, maybe it gave me a more unique perspective because I was just sitting there, like looking at the tactics that people were using, targeting me in this very, very vulnerable stage of my like life where I'm just trying. It's so new, and I'm trying to figure everything out. And it really put me into the perspective of like, if this is how everybody is operating, which it feels like it is a lot of the time, like this is not sustainable. Everybody's over consuming, over purchasing, overbuying, everything like that, where we're just existing in this place where there's a storage unit on every freaking like corner of the roads here in San Antonio, and I'm over it. So that was like personal, like echoes in my brain of just like blah, 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 blah. So I would come and would sit down and I would try to like write copy about email lists and email marketing and this and this. And like it all just felt like I was just contributing to the noise of just this constant, like, you have a problem and let me tell you about your problem so that I can be your solution. And that just gave the biggest, like, ugh. And so I really had to sit with, like, how I uncover, like, why this is making me feel like this. And so that was really where coming back and being like, "Yeah, no, my old marketing voice, it's not flying. Like, this is not it." So, yeah, that was a lot of details into, like, we can't participate in that anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I had this similar experience when I kind of first like discovered like the term ethical marketing. I think I had read a book called like Marketing Revolution or something like that. And it just talked about marketing in like a different way. And I think one of the things I totally agreed with it. But then one of the things that like I struggled with was like as marketers, we help our clients create marketing strategies. So like how do we balance like letting go of like this way that we want to operate, and like how do we educate our clients and encourage them to shift towards this like new way? Like what if this been like how like it felt trying to like implement this in your client's business as well? Are you like, are you even there yet?
Well, no, my clients are luckily like all on the same page as me, which is, oh, the freaking best feeling in the entire world because I didn't have to like change, convince like the core clients that I had kept with me from before kind of saying I'm not signing anymore were like the most aligned clients that I was like, yeah, if I were to make any changes in my business, like these people would still fit in. But ultimately it comes down to, and I feel like this is side of the times kind of thing is that it's coming down to like values. It's like my clients are prioritizing and value like their life more than they prioritize their business. Like their business is a means to the end, which is their life feeling better for them. I think that in like saying, okay, I'm not going to get anybody over, like, I'm not going to get anybody in my space and like convert them by being like, we're going to convert 20 times more people, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not the person that I'm searching for. The person that I'm searching for is we're still going to make conversions. You're not going to feel icky about it. It's going to feel so aligned because things are working together. It's an ecosystem that is connected. And you're not going to have to work as hard. You're not going to have to be dancing around on the internet. You're not going to have to be creating 1,000 different pieces of content. And if you vibe with that, you're my person. And I think that that has been a very freeing realization versus me being like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have those very super sexy like marketing messages that are going to capture everybody in the world that just wants more money. Like, those aren't my people anymore. Like, I've acknowledged that and I've released it. And it feels good to be like, if you value your life ahead of your business, if you want to be able to be like, sanity, that's what we need more of, then that's kind of where I've allowed that breakout from like the marketing strategy still works. Like I've helped my clients get 25+% conversion rates with the same exact strategies we're using. We're just talking about it a little differently here.
A lot of my content has been centered around like building a life first business. So I feel like everybody's kind of getting on that train of like leading with your vision, your values first. And so I want to know like how are you thinking about like structuring your packages differently, or the way that you work differently, or just expectations that you set for working with clients behind the scenes? How are you operating differently?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, I think what fits best for my life is digital products, like courses plus access to me in some sense. But retainers, I think for the right person, it would still make sense to bring them. But I think I'm going to start shifting more into like accessibility. I really, really want people to be able to like access marketing strategies that are going to help them first without having to be like, you need to pay $10,000 in order to get this really life-changing experience. And it's like, no, I really do believe that like women businesses that prioritize their values and their happiness and their sanity, they need to thrive. And if that means that I'm going to make you something that you can consume when your kid's sleeping, when you have to drive an hour to go take care of somebody in your family or whatever, like whatever has prioritized your life in your personal space. And you don't have the capacity to be like, I'm going to show up at 4 o'clock every day or every week on like a mastermind call or this or that. Like, I just don't think that that's how reality is. I think a lot of people, and I use myself as my own like reference here, where it's like, I literally, as soon as like 5:30, 6 o'clock comes around, like I got things to do. I have my family I got to go visit. I have dinner I have to cook. I have all of these other things that I have to juggle. And I'm not willing to sacrifice that in order to really like attend a mastermind call, to spend 4 hours listening to a course, to do all of these things. So I'm trying to build something that would be useful for me, but that also is going to be super accessible for all of these other people who are in the exact same boat as me. So that's kind of my like lighthouse right now, is that I'm really working towards making sure that I'm not contributing to the problem of spend a million unnecessary dollars with me and get this strategy that's really like, if you just kind of sat down and put the pieces together, like it's not game changing, it's not super revolutionary. It's just simple strategies that actually work. And I think that that's the direction that I need to, for my soul, I need to be in.
And say, I have a really bad habit of like tailoring packages specific people, which is not scalable at all.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels more aligned. So I'm like, when I ask people, I'm like, well, what is your budget? And they're like, well, how much does your service cost? And I'm like, well, like, I don't want you to spend like $2,000 with, like I want to, if you're going to do a $10,000 launch, that's a lot different, like effort on my part than like doing a $300,000 launch. So I need to know the amount of effort. Like I can kind of tailor it to be good for you. And the way that like people react to me, like asking those sort of questions, I can just tell that that's something that's not really like offered widely. All right. So last question, in your brand right now in your business, like what feels like most aligned or what's lighting you up the most, or what are you really like super excited about?
I think I'm just super excited about the humanization of marketing right now. Like that is something that I've felt I want to bring back the fact that like we are all people making in as informed decisions as we possibly can on the other end of your email, of your social post, of your whatever. I think we've completely removed that from what feels like this like online ick happening right now where it's like, oh, well, you just need X amount of more people here and you're going to convert this amount of people. And oh, do you want to offer them a credit card, like a credit card application in order for them to afford your program? Like all of that stuff just really like has taken the soul out of businesses. And I think that if we can bring back this, we are all just people trying to solve a problem and we're all talking to other people and we need to bring that humanness back into marketing. That's kind of like my guiding post right now is like making sure that we're not just like ignoring and belittling anybody's experience. And so I know I had read Jess, I think it was offline, right? I had read you my brand manifesto that I'm like leaning into. So I feel like if we want to I'm going to read it so that everybody can kind of see the energy that I'm living in cuz it's really just like anytime I feel like I need to go back into like the old ways or go back into like oh, but that seems like it worked, like I come back to this as like my home and then I create my content, which I've been creating a lot lately, like feeling a little bit effortlessly. So this is kind of my new brand values is that we believe your business should support your life, not the other way around. That marketing is not a performance and that people are not just leads. That urgency has a time and a place, but it is not every damn day. We do not believe in six-figure launch formulas that steal your souls, steal your weekends, and crowd your content calendars in order so that you can feel like you have a voice out there. We believe that strategy is rooted in rhythm, in funnels that are rooted in regeneration, that giving your audience time to breathe, and they will eventually trust you because of it. We don't create just to feed the algorithm. We create to nourish real people and help them solve their problems. We honor the buyer's timeline, the sacred pause before a yes, the sovereignty of not right now, because building a business that lasts, that means that building one lets you live. And that's the kind of growth that we're here for slow, meaningful, profitable, and peaceful. Not the hustle, not the hype, just real strategies for businesses that care. So anytime I'm like trying to figure out what I need to say, I read that to myself first and then I start creating. And that has just felt like way more aligned of a process because I do feel like I'm going against friction here. Like I do feel that this is not the norm to acknowledge that like I'm going to make less conversions because I'm saying you're not okay or that you're not right now is okay for me. And I'll come back and check on you in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and I think it's like, it's going against what everyone else is doing, but I think you're actually ahead of the curve where people are starting to like crave like that realness. Like even just like social media, like I realized like Instagram, like I've never had like a fun relationship with it or wanted to be on it, but it's because it feels so like one-sided. Like I'm just shouting out and it's not social. No one is social, especially like when people are using mini chat now. Like we can't even respond to our own comments. We just have
Literally.
like, and I get like there's a time and a place for systems, but exploring like how marketing, how systems, how even AI can be like human first. And we're leveraging technology to kind of like amplify, not replace us, and like making sure that we're still injecting the humanness where there needs to be humanness. So I got goosebumps when you read that. Like, yes to all of it. I need to write my like systems manifesto.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see where your business goes. Every time you post recently, I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like love it. I want to share it. Everybody.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy because it really has been this just revolutionary experience. All the pressure of posting, because I'm not posting for anybody to like buy anything from right now. I'm just posting to get it out there because it's been holding a place in my heart that I've just felt like I needed to share this new vision. And it's been a lot more fun without that
I
pressure.
think that
So
energy is going to pay off because you're like releasing like the scarcity. You're not trying to go viral. You're not trying to like make $1 billion. Like you're okay if we're like making 250, like, you give your enough number. And you're not trying to be the next Jenna Kutcher in Porterfield or any of those people at all. And I think like part of that is just kind of like being okay. And that's radically different than what everybody tells us to want.
all
Oh,
right.
right. So, I mean, I think Rachel's ahead of the curve. I think a lot of us are ready for quieter ways of doing business, for ways that are more true to our life, that honor our vision and value. So, Rachel, thank you for showing everyone what that can look like, not in just in your branding, but how you're living your life. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Deeply Rooted Business podcast. We're going to do some solo episodes, I think, for the rest of the summer while we go and live life. I'm headed to the Bahamas. Rachel's going to see some in-laws. So we'll be here, but we won't be back together probably until August again. But until then, we're
We're
rooting
rooting
for you.
for you.